Your biological system is an information processing architecture that has been programmed over eons for survival, but not necessarily for long-term integrity. As we age, our internal software begins to experience a systematic drift, a corruption of the code that manifests as cellular senescence and functional decline. In the conventional medical model, this drift is accepted as an inevitability, managed by an assembly line of palliative protocols. I am Dr. Gurpreet Singh Padda. My clinical perspective was forged in the trauma bays of Cook County and refined through 30 years as a reanimateur. I am an anesthesiologist trained to bring the system back from the edge. At Regen MD, we do not accept the standard narrative of decay. At Regen MD, we do not accept the standard narrative of decay. We are located at 4477 Woodson Road in St. Louis, Missouri, directly adjacent to the International Airport. We are the gateway to regeneration for high-agency individuals who understand that clinical mastery is worth the flight. To understand aging, we must look at the biological clock located at the tips of your chromosomes, the telomeres. Every time a cell divides, these protective caps shorten. When they reach a critical threshold, the cell enters senescence, a zombie state where it no longer functions, but secretes inflammatory markers that poison the terrain. To reset this drift, we utilize Epitalon, a synthetic tetrapeptide based on a natural substance produced in the pineal gland. Discovered in St. Petersburg, Epitalon functions as a master bioregulator that acts on the neuroendocrine system to delay cellular aging at the genomic level. Epitalon's primary mechanism is the activation of telomerase. It upregulates the expression of the hTERT gene, the catalytic subunit of the telomerase enzyme. By reactivating telomerase, Epitalon allows your cells to extend their telomeres, effectively bypassing the Hayflick limit and increasing replicative lifespan by up to 30 to 40%. Epitalon also rejuvenates the pineal gland, the body's biological metronome. It upregulates critical enzymes for synthesizing melatonin. This is not just for sleep. It is about restoring the circadian rhythm that coordinates every metabolic process in your body, from hormonal secretion to immune response. We pair this with GHKQ, a naturally occurring tripeptide that binds to copper. If Epitalon is the guardian of the chromosome tips, GHKQ is the master editor of the genetic library. By the age of 60, your GHK levels drop by 60%, leading to a catastrophic decline in your regenerative capacity. Research from the Broad Institute demonstrates that GHKQ modulates the expression of over 4,000 human genes. It doesn't just turn them on, it resets them to a youthful state. It upregulates 47 DNA repair genes, including the base excision repair pathway, while suppressing pro-oxidant genes that drive degeneration. GHKQ is vital for structural integrity. It stimulates the synthesis of collagen, elastin, and decorin, a proteoglycan that organizes collagen fibers. It resets the metabolic terrain of your skin, fascia, and connective tissues, ensuring your architecture is congruent with restoration rather than decay. However, peptides do not work in a vacuum. We must address meta-inflammation, the chronic low-grade metabolic fire that drives most modern disease. Most clinicians view pain as a diagnosis. I view it as a final pathway signal of systemic failure. To fix the pain, we must fix the metabolism. The Padda protocol begins with metabolic cleansing. We eliminate high omega-6 vegetable oils and glyphosate-exposed foods that disrupt mitochondrial health and social oxytocin levels. We use continuous glucose monitors, not as medical devices, but as behavioral feedback tools to keep your blood sugar below 110 milligrams per deciliter. We treat muscle as the primary organ of longevity, prioritizing sarcopenia reversal through heavy resistance training. We couple this with vagus nerve optimization to bridge the gut-brain axis and dampen systemic inflammation. This protocol resolves type 2 diabetes in 85 to 90% of our patients within 90 days. At Regen MD, we do not guess. We use high-resolution musculoskeletal ultrasound and fluoroscopy to visualize your internal environment in real time. We precisely intervene where the architecture has failed, utilizing spinal interventions or joint payloads with sub-millimeter accuracy, ensuring that the cellular environment is prepared for reanimation. We integrate these procedures with photobiomodulation, using specific wavelengths of light to communicate with your mitochondria. This powers the cellular repair signaled by your peptides, ensuring the system has the energetic currency required for total restoration. The regulatory landscape has finally shifted in favor of the sovereign seeker. As of February 2026, 14 of these vital peptides, including Epitalon and GHKQ, have been returned to Category 1 status. This is a massive victory for your metabolic sovereignty, allowing us to once again provide precision physician-led protocols. When you step into our clinic in St. Louis, you are entering a high-precision laboratory for human restoration. We perform a comprehensive evaluation where we decrypt your biochemistry, analyze your imaging reports, your X-rays, CTs, and MRIs, and examine your entire inflammatory profile. Your body is information. It is time you had a clinical commander who knows how to read the data. Visit www.regenmd and reclaim your sovereignty today. Stop being a victim of a broken model. Welcome to the gateway of health. Welcome to the future of reanimation.